What's up my loves, my name is Paige, this is Pages with Paige, and today we're going to be doing my June book haul. Hello my darlings, welcome to this video. Today I want to talk through the acquisitions that I got in June. I am pretty happy with this stack, so we'll talk through the statistics about the haul and then dive into what the books are. So in the month of June I acquired 4 books. All of them are currently unread, although Ash and I have started one of them. 3 of them I bought myself and spent a total of $42.99. So the yearly amount I've spent on books is $289.02, which is 48% of my budget. So I'm back under the 50%. I was just like, after May, I was hyperventilating. So very happy to be sitting at 48% used at the halfway mark of the year. In terms of my reading, I read 9 backlist books and 4 2025 acquisitions. I also DNF'd 1 book. So my yearly total for my backlist is 57 books and I've read 11 of my 2025 acquisitions. So that means I have read 68 books off my TBR, and that means to read 3 off to put 1 on. I could add 22 unread books. I'm currently sitting at 16 unread, which is hilarious because it's the exact same as last month of 16 unread, but because I have read more from the acquisitions this month as well, I'm sitting at 48% read to 52% unread, which I'm super happy with. I'm almost like at even, which is what I aim for. The goal mentally is to have 60% read by the end of the year, but look, I'm doing okay. My TBR numbers went from 168 to 158. I'm just, oh my god. Oh my god, it's happening. Like, my TBR is getting down. I think once I crack the 150, I am going to be working so hard to keep it at that point. Who knows? Shit may happen and I go on a book buying spree, but we're not there yet. And in regards to the TBR merge that happened in February, I still need to read an additional 13 books to qualify for adding those on. But I'm not keeping track of that at all, and I hope no one else is. So those are the stats. Let's talk about the books. The first 2 I got while I was in Sydney for the BookTuber meetup, and I was so happy because like I spent a lot in May, and then the new month rolled over and I wasn't even thinking about it. I was like, yes, I don't have to include this in my May book haul. So I ended up getting Don't Let the Forest In by C.G. Drews. I am really excited to read this. I believe this has a lot of amazing different rep and it's been talked about a lot. C.G. Drews is also an Australian author, so very excited to put this onto the TBR. It was just one of those things that I was vibing, looking around options I had available to me in Sydney. And the other one was a bit of a funny pick, and I got Solace by Gail Carriger. This is the first in the Parasol Protectorate series, and I've heard a lot of people really enjoying it. I love like steampunk, I think, Victorian style things. I'm really excited. I think I'm really going to enjoy the series, so I decided to pick it up, and it was for $8. I also had the most amazing moment at this particular Harry Harthog finding 50 Shades of Grey, or 50 Shades Freed, I think, and I found one. I was like, oh, this is my copy, they must have taken out my annotations. And then, no, they haven't taken out my annotations. So I was absolutely gobsmacked when I saw it because I pulled one off the shelf. I was like, oh yeah, cool, they've taken it out, no worries then. And then I pulled another one off and just got, oh shit. So that was fabulous and just loved it. So got to see some wonderful booktube people and then get some amazing books. So I'm really excited for these 2. I also then did a blind date with a book through Depop, and they gave like a little goodie bags. Actually, they had Skittles. I didn't even tell them, but drinking chocolate instead of coffee, a little lip balm, a book review page for the book if you want to put it in there, some random eye creams and stuff, which not necessary for me, but you know, a bookmark. They're so cute. This bookmark was one of the reasons I actually got it, because I could see that that was the option. I couldn't see what the book was. Reading Something Unholy. Yes, so thrilled. And then the stickers were just some really cool, very Reading Ren design. And I'm like, I like them so much, but I also want to send them to Ren because I know that they're very creative. Unlike me. So yeah, there's just an absolute shit ton. I know that I don't drink coffee, but I quite enjoyed the Fueled by Smut and coffee. I was just really pleasantly surprised, and I can't remember what the criteria was for this book. I think it mentioned a dark romance and the average rating on Goodreads was quite high, so I thought it would be popular. It was Phantasma by Kaylee Smith, which had been recommended to me by Abby and Brooklyn at the Booktuber meetup. So I was like, perfect, I love this. So I was actually quite surprised and quite happy to get it. I know it is the first book in the series, Amos Solace, but I think that I'm gonna have a lot of fun with them. And so I think this is leaning sort of to where I just want to explore a little bit more in the dark fantasy side of things after really enjoying the dark romantic comedies. So I now have it, and I was very pleasantly surprised with the whole kit and caboodle. And then finally, because Ash works at a bookstore, he can get one free book a month as their system. So he ended up picking up Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by B.E. Schwab. And I am planning to start a book club where I live with a couple of friends, and so Ash is going to join it, and we're going to read this as our first book, and I'm so excited. But we did read the first chapter. Ash read it to me while I was down with COVID, and I don't remember that. So I had to go back and reread the first chapter, and we haven't tried since, but I do really want to get to this to be able to talk about it with my mates, and yeah, I'm just really excited. So that was the final thing that we got. Technically, you did also get the Arc of Calabasas by R.F. Kuang, but that one will be returned, and I'm probably not going to read it before it comes out, so I haven't included it in this just because it's not going onto my TBR at the moment, whereas the rest of these are. But he is ecstatic to have an Arc of it, I can tell you that. So these are the 4 books that I acquired in the month of June, and I'm very happy. I feel like much better pace. So I've got quite an interesting mix of things. We've got an eclectic mix, that's for sure. But I'm really excited to dive into each and every one of these. Let me know in the comments what you ended up picking up in June. Was there anything that you were absolutely chomping at the bit? Any new releases that you wanted to get to that you ended up getting your hands on? Or just anything that you were excited that you acquired, whether it be bookish or something else, in the comments down below. Like I said, feel free to leave anything you want to let me know in the comments down below. And if you like this video, feel free to give it a big thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more of this mess, feel free to subscribe. I'll hopefully see you on my next video or over on my Patreon. Bye!